Yeah. So now in today's class, I'm just going to explain you, okay, what is this entries are. What for these entries are, first of all. Last class I also taught on this particular one, provision for depreciation, account maintain and not maintain. Okay, but before that, to those who are not attended previous session, I'm just recollecting you people. That is, we are just going to break down this cash flow statement into four subdivisions. That is, first subdivision, we are going to see the accounts, what needs to be prepared. What are the accounts that has to be prepared, okay, before we start working out the full-fledged problem. And then we'll go in detail about the format of cash flow statement, each and every item, whatever is being incorporated in that comprehensive format. And then we will work out a full-fledged problem which will be asked in a 6-mark question, and then we'll cover up the basics. So to start up with, these are the contents as I said: preparation of accounts, format, full-fledged problem, and the basic questions. So in preparation of the accounts, we have got four important accounts basically. One is a fixed asset account, the second one is preparation of investment account, the next one is preparation of provision for tax account, and the fourth one is preparing both the accounts, that is fixed asset account and accumulated depreciation account. The other name of accumulated depreciation account is nothing but provision for depreciation account. Now you might ask, why do we want to prepare all these things? Very simple. The cash flow consists of basically three important activities. Okay, there are basically three important activities in cash flow. They are operating activity. I am just mentioning it over here. Okay, three important activities. They are operating activity, investing activity, and financing activities, which we have already discussed. Okay, there are three activities. They are named as, okay, in CFS. Number one, operating activities. Number two, investing investing activities. Number three, financing activities. Now you might ask me, sir, what does this operating, investing, and financing activities are? These activities are carried out by the business organization or by the companies in their manufacturing process or in the trade activities, which includes, okay, the core business operations and the supporting operations. We can say in such a way, the core business operations and the supporting operations for the execution of your business. That means, say for example, if I am a manufacturer of vehicles, then obviously I need some raw materials which I will convert it into a finished product, and then I'll market them or I'll sell them in the market. But to start up with the business, I need something called the capital, which is considered as the finance, the amount what I invest in the business. And with that particular amount only, I will be buying some machineries and also my raw materials. Why do I want to buy machineries, or why should I want to invest in machineries and raw material? Only if I invest them in raw materials and in my machineries, I will able to do my production process, which is my core business operation. So we can say that each activities are interdependent on the other activity for some reasons. So I cannot start my operations business operations either without the missionaries nor without the stock with which I'm going to do the business. So, operating activity is nothing but the core business what we does. Okay, it is nothing but the core business. Okay, the core business activity. For example, we have some companies like Tata, Ford, Mahindra. All these company name, when I say what comes to your mind, automobiles. They are dealing in automobiles, production of four wheelers or trucks, six wheelers, or as the case may be. So their business operation is production of vehicles. So that is the operating activity which these companies does. When I say a company or when I say a brand by name as Raymond, what comes to our mind? It is a fabric. They deal in fabrics, merchandise. They are a cloth vendors and they particularly deal with suits. They deal with coats, suits, blazers, such type of things. So each business has its own business operations, and what is their core business operation that comes under the operating activity. Investing activity, as I say, they do investment or they do some amount invested in some shares or securities, or they might invest it in some deposits. If not, they may or they might invest in. Am I audible, right? Hello? Hello? Students, am I audible, right? Can everybody hear me? Yeah, okay. So as I was saying that they might invest it in some operations. Okay, they will be investing in some where what's it assets. Say for example, those assets can be fixed assets or it can be some marketable securities also. So this is the process of investing activity. So investing activity deals only with fixed assets. It deals only with fixed assets. Am I making it clear to you? Can you able to understand? Hello? Is my screen is visible? Yeah, is my screen visible to you all? Hello? Can you able to see my screen, ma? Okay. So coming up to the next one, that is financing activity. When I say financing activity, it deals with capital, which we call in companies as share capital. Okay. So it deals with the share capital or it deals with the borrowings. When I say borrowings, it includes items like loans or it includes item like debentures. Okay, so these are the things that is dealt in financing activity basically. So without the finance, you can't do the operations. Without the amount that is finance, you can't buy any assets. So this is how they are interlinked. And remember, this when I say fixed asset, it includes items such as land and building. Okay, it includes items such as land and building, plant and machinery, furniture and fixtures, if not vehicles. Most probably these are the items which you will be finding in the fixed assets. And also you might have some investment in the securities. You could also see investment, okay, investment in shares. Okay, investment in shares will also be a part of investing activity. Now, what is the speciality of this investing activity is, in investing activity we will be having depreciation on few assets and we won't be having depreciation on few assets. For example, the plant and machinery, the vehicles, furniture fixtures, all these will undergo depreciation, whereas the investment will not undergo depreciation. There is no depreciation on investment. So here, as I say, we are investing the amount on the fixed assets and they are subject to depreciation, and we maintain either provision for depreciation account or we might not maintain provision for depreciation account, depends upon the company's policy. If they maintain the provision for depreciation account, then we are in a need of preparing provision for depreciation account. So fixed asset account is necessary as we are involved with or we are depositing or we are investing on some fixed assets. Without that we cannot do our operation. So that's the reason we are preparing fixed asset account. Whereas depreciation account is also done along with fixed assets, provided if they are charged depreciation on that particular asset for that particular year, either on accumulated basis. That is, accumulated depreciation is provision for depreciation in that basis. And the another one is provision for tax. The another account is provision for tax. So provision for tax, why we are doing it? Because as every businessman will do business based on one objective, that to earn profit, and of course if you earn profit you have to pay tax, and if you want to pay the tax for the profit you have to allocate the amount towards the tax. So you need to provide or you have to create a provision for the tax. The reason is the tax amount what we pay to the government during a particular year is not the tax amount of that particular year, it is a tax amount of the previous year. Okay, I'll tell you the tax amount when we prepare the provision for tax. Why I'm preparing provision for taxes? Normally, the tax amount what every company pay to the government during a particular year is not the tax amount of that particular year. It is the tax amount of the previous year. It is the tax amount of the previous year. For example, let me give you an example. Okay, profit earned by a company for the year 2019-20 is given as rupees 10 lakhs. Now, when will you arrive this value profit for this year 1920? You would have arrived this value on 31st of March 2019. So, only after arriving the value of profit, you will be able to know how much tax to be paid upon. So, you will apply, okay, you will apply some percentage of tax. Okay, you will apply some percentage on the profit as tax. So once you derive the tax amount, you will go and make the necessary payment. So obviously when you can make a payment, probably you will make a payment on 1/4/2019, or if not, within 10 days, if not by 10/4/2019. So that means once after deriving the value of profit in this particular date, you will go and do the make a payment. So when you go and make a payment, obviously the next day comes in. Next day is 1/4/19, which falls in the next accounting period, that is 2019-20. It is 2019-20. So in 1920, whatever the amount you pay as tax is not the tax amount of 1920, it is a tax amount of which year? Sorry, it is you'll be paying it in 2020-21. I'm sorry. Okay, you'll be paying it in the year 2020-21. I made a mistake. Can you able to understand? That is, in the year 1920, I earned some amount 10 lakhs as an example. I'm saying it as profit, and this value I would have derived it on this particular date, 31/3/2019. And when I apply some percentage as per the government norms, when I apply the tax percentage, I'll get some value which I have to remit it to the government as income tax, and after that I'll go and do the payment. So obviously the payment I'll do it on the very next date, which will be on which date? Which will be on either 1/4/20 or within 10 days I'll make a payment. So by the time I'll get into the year 2020-21, so that's what I'm saying. The amount of tax what I pay in the year 2021 is not the tax of that particular year. It is a tax of the previous year. Can you able to understand these concepts? Any doubt in these concepts? Please let me know. If you have any doubt in these concepts, please let me know. Hello? Yes, ma? I didn't get you properly. Tell me. 2021, 2020-2021, ma. That no, what I'm saying is I will be deriving the profit for this financial year 1920 by this particular date, 31/3/20, the last date of that financial year. And then only I'll apply. Okay. Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Tell me, Shapriya. I have given the access, ma. I have given the access. Okay. So the profit for this 1920, I'll be deriving only on the last date. Then I'll go and apply the tax percentage for that particular year, whatever the government has given as a tax slab rate. And after getting that amount only, I'll go and make a payment of tax. So when I'll go and make a payment of tax, probably on 1st April, if not within a week's time, within that 1 week time. So I just given a rough date from 1/4/2022. Okay, 10/4. Sorry, I understood what was your question. 10/4/2020. Correct. Okay, ma. Got it. So this obviously falls in the financial year of 2020-2021. So whenever in the question they are given payment of tax and they are given which year, don't think it is the current year tax, it is a tax of the previous year which you have paid in the current year. Always that will be the only possibility. Now is it clear to everyone? Right, okay. Now, moving on to the preparation of the accounts. Let me first make you to understand how the asset accounts will be prepared. Okay, and what you have to take into account. Always you will have a balance sheet. Okay, a balance sheet will be given for us. And in a balance sheet, if you see, you will be segregated in a vertical form where you will have first your liabilities, that is equities and liability. Followed by that, you will have the asset section. In the asset segment, we will be having two divisions. One is the fixed asset, which we can otherwise call as non-current assets. The fixed assets are otherwise called as non-current assets. The next category is current assets. So in balance sheet, in the asset segment, you can see like this two segments: fixed assets, which will be mentioned as non-current assets, and current assets. So they can give you as fixed assets or they may give you as non-current assets. Either way, whatever way they are given, both means one and the same. Okay, so always remember fixed asset account is otherwise called as non-current assets. Example I have given to you. Now, in the balance sheet, it is given like non-current assets. Under this, they are given machinery. Okay, they are given machinery as an item and they are given the values. Okay, there are 2 years. Say for example, 2019, 31st March. Okay, 2020, the current year is also given, and 31st March 2019. Like this, 2 years they are given. So machinery, they are given an item and they have also mentioned the value of this machinery. Okay, they are given the value of this machinery. Take it for example, the machinery value for the year 2020 is rupees 2,50,000. It is given as 2,50,000. And for the year 2019, it was mentioned as 1 lakh. This is the only information which is available in a balance sheet. Okay, this is the only information which is available in a balance sheet. They are given like this in extracted balance sheet to you. Okay, and then below this, okay, below this, they are given an additional information now. Just a minute, I'm just making it as okay. And next, so this is the information they are given like the sorry. Okay, this is the information which we have got it. Okay, okay, good. So with this information we have to prepare the fixed asset account. Okay, in the balance sheet you have got a balance sheet and they are given the details. Just a minute. 'So it appears like this. Now below this an additional information is given mentioning that during the year, okay, they are given the screen is not visible. 1 minute ma, 1 minute ma. Just a minute. Now is it visible? Just a minute. 1 minute ma. There's some small issue. I'm just resolving it. Just hang on for a minute. Now is my screen visible to you all? Kindly check out whether my screen is visible to you all right now. Now, yeah, okay. So it is given as a statement that during the year, okay, during the year machinery costing rupees 30,000 was sold for rupees 28,000. Now, like this, a small instance, I mean, a balance sheet is given. Inside the balance sheet, you have a specification of fixed assets or non-current asset. Below that, there is machinery. You have value of machinery for 2 different years, and it was mentioned that the machinery during the year has got sold out to an extent of rupees 30,000 for rupees 28,000. Now, when you find like this, in a balance sheet, you have an asset and that asset got sold out. It is to be kept in your mind that we need to prepare fixed asset account. We have to prepare fixed asset account. So what account I have to prepare now? The account name is machinery account. So I have to prepare a machinery account. Just I'm preparing the sideline. Okay. So I'm just preparing machinery account. Now you see here, you have been given with 2 different dates. One is 2020, the other is for 2019. But both are the closing dates. You know one thing that the closing balance of 2019 for the machinery rupees 1 lakh will be the opening balance for the year 2019-20. That is 1st of April 2019-20. So the closing balance of 1819, this is belong to 1819 year. This balance of 1 lakh will be the opening balance for the next financial year. So this is my opening balance, and always remember, asset account, fixed asset account, opening balance will be debited. So in the machinery account, on the debit side, so I'll write as to balance brought down. So the value is going to be rupees 1 lakh. So I'm mentioning that particular amount over here. Then simultaneously, you please prepare the closing value also. The closing value of the machinery is 2,50,000. So that you have to mention it now. Now is it okay? Hello? Yeah. Yes, 1 minute, 1 minute. It is getting visible. 1 minute, 1 minute. I'm just facing some technical issue. 1 minute. I'll try to resolve it. Now is it visible? Check it up. Is it visible now? Yes. Okay. Just a minute. So here, what I'm going to do is simultaneously I'm going to prepare the closing value. So closing should appear on which side? It should appear on the credit side. So I'm writing this by balance carry down. The amount is given as rupees 2,50,000, and it is given that a machinery costing 30 was sold for 28. By looking at this, what comes to your mind? Is it a profit or loss or sale? 30,000 rupees worth you have sold it for 28,000 means, is there a profit or is there a loss? Are we getting profit on this or loss on this? Hello? Hello? Students, tell me whether if you sell this 30,000 rupees worth of asset at 28,000, that will get you a profit or will it lead in a loss? What you will get? Loss. Good. What is the journal entry for loss on sale of machinery? Journal entry for loss on sale of machinery. Don't remember last year depreciation? Last year depreciation we taught you, right? Loss on sale of machinery or profit on sale of machinery. What is the journal entry? What is the journal entry, ma? For loss on sale of machinery. Journal entry, please. The loss on sale of machinery. Journal entry, anyone? Not even one. Am I audible to you? Exactly. P&L account debited to machinery account. Okay. So that means in the machinery account, that P&L will come on the credit side. So by profit and loss account. So how much is it loss? 2000 is the loss. Okay. Now for sale of machinery, what is the journal entry? For the sale of machinery, what is the journal entry? Tell me the journal entry for the sale of machinery. When you do sales, what will you get? What will you get when you do the sale? Okay, so pass the journal entry for sale of machinery. Quite reversal of purchase of machinery. The journal entry is the reversal entry of the purchase of machinery. So prepare the journal and tell me what is the journal for sale of machinery. Machinery account debited to sales. When you do sale, you won't get cash, is it? So how to frame the journal? Very good. Cash or bank account debit to machinery account. So in the machinery account, I will bring that sales. So by bank, which will be sales. I'm mentioning for your convenience and reference. That is nothing but the sales. So what is the amount of sale? I have done the sale for rupees 28,000 given in the question. So I have to mention that 28,000 over here. Now opening I have brought, closing I mentioned, sale amount I mentioned, and profit or loss I derived it. Apart from that, nothing else is available. So now if you look at it, this side I am getting only 1 lakh, whereas on this side, how much is the value? 2 lakh 50 plus 28 plus 2 30. So 2 lakh 80,000 rupees. Now where do you find the shortage? Debit side or credit side? Which side you have shortage? Which side there is a shortage? Where is the shortage? Very good. So the shortage is in the debit side. What is the shortage amount? What is the shortage amount? What is the shortage amount? Here 1 lakh, here 2 lakh 80. What is the shortage amount? Shortage amount எவ்வளோமா? Students, what is the shortage amount? Very good. 1 lakh 80. Normally, we have a habit, whatever the shortage comes, we will record it as carry down balance. If it comes on the debit side, write to balance carry down. Or if it comes on the credit side, by balance carry down. But remember, one particular account can have only one brought down account and one carry down account. Already the brought down and carry down for machinery has been brought into the picture. So this 1,80,000 should not be mentioned as carryover balance, that is closing balance. This is denoting that during the year we have purchased some additional machinery to the extent of rupees 1,80,000. So you have to mark this as to bank account, inside the bracket mention it as purchases. What is the journal entry for purchase of machinery? What is the journal for purchase of machinery? Machinery account debited to bank account. That is what happened here. Okay, that is what have happened in this case. The shortage is appearing on the debit side. That shortage should be recorded as purchases, and now your debit side and credit side machinery value will be perfect. Can you able to understand on what situation we have to prepare the asset account and what we will get out of this asset account? Hello? Did you understood this problem? A simple problem. Hello? Hello? Am I audible to you, students? Kindly continue. Yes. Now next, I'll give one more problem on the same basis where we'll see what's our value we are going to get. What is that particular value we have to name it as? Okay. Again, let me have like this one balance sheet. Okay. Let me have like this one balance sheet. Okay. And let it be missionary itself. So not missionary. It is going to be, yeah, let it be as missionary itself. No issues. Sorry. The values are going to be slightly different. For the year 20, it is 9,60,000, and for the year 19, it is 12 lakhs. Okay, there are two values. One is 9,60,000 and another one is 12 lakhs. Okay, additional information. It is said that during the year, okay, a during the year, part of machinery costing rupees 30,000 was sold for rupees 36,000. Can you able to see this? During the year, a machinery costing 30,000 was sold for 36,000. Now, what we are going to do it? What needs to be done? In this case, you will prepare what account? What account needs to be prepared in this case? Hello? What account we have to prepare it? No, that's what I'm. Yes, yes, yes. I understand because I also connected my mobile. I can see whether my screen is visible or not. Just a minute. Some network issue I'm facing. It seems. 1 minute. You just tell me. Okay. I gave some example, right? Looking at it, what account needs to be prepared? What we have to prepare it? What needs to be prepared in that case? The previous problem there was a loss, but look at this problem, whether do you have any loss or is there a profit? Check out and tell me whether is there a profit or loss in this particular problem. Okay, just a minute. Look at the problem and tell me. I mentioned it over here. Okay, so what needs to be done in this case? You are given a balance sheet, fixed asset account, you are given machinery, the values, It was mentioned during the year. So what you need to prepare now? What you have to prepare now? Hello? What we have to prepare it, ma? Hello? Am I? Yeah, we have to prepare which account? Which account, ma? No, I'm not getting you properly. Tell me once again. Trading account. ஏமா trading account? போன சம் மாதிரி தான் இந்த சம்மும் இருக்கு பாருங்கம்மா. It's similar to that sum. You have a machinery, 2 years value. Last problem it was mentioned that during the year machinery costing 30 was sold for 28. In this problem, what I meant, no man, the balance sheet in the sense they'll give a balance sheet, kana. From the balance sheet, we need to prepare what account I'm asking it. By looking at this statement, what account we have to prepare it for CFS? Yes, first you have to prepare missionary account only. If you are given like this a missionary information, prepare the missionary account first. So missionary account, I am opening it. Now, opening balance will be this value. The value of 2019 closing amount will be the opening for 19. So opening will always be debited. So I mentioned it as to balance brought down. What is the amount? 12 lakhs. Okay. Kayora. Okay. Simultaneously go and record the closing. Don't take it towards the last. Record the closing. Okay. Simultaneously, when you're opening in the debit side, the opening balance, closing balance also you go and record it. What is the closing balance? Tell me the closing balance. What is the amount of closing balance? Amount of closing balance எவ்வளோமா? How much is the closing balance amount? Hello? What is the amount of the closing balance, ma? Good. 9 lakh 60,000. Recorded both. Now you have done what? You have done the sales. So for how much you have done the sale? Sale value is 36,000. So what will come? Sales will come on the credit side. So it is as buy sales. Sorry, it will come as buy bank account. Within a bracket, you make it as sales for your convenience understanding. How much is the amount of sale? What is the sale amount? What is the sale amount? How much? How much? Okay, 36,000 rupees. Now you tell me whether you have incurred a profit or loss on this particular sale. 30,000 worth of machinery you have sold for 36. Will you incur a profit or you'll end up in a loss? Will you end up in a loss or profit? Okay, what is the amount of profit? What is the amount of your profit? 6,000 rupees. So where will you record it? Debit side or credit side? Where will you record it? Debit side or credit side? Good. So two, okay, profit and loss account. The amount of 6,000 will come here. Now opening, closing, sale amount, everything we have recorded. Apart from this, there is nothing. So coming over to this side, what is the overall balance? Total we will get 12 lakh and 6,000. Am I right? 12 lakh 6,000. Now here, how much you will get? 9 lakh 60,000 plus 36,000. If you add these two, how much you'll get? 9,96,000. How much you'll get? 9,96,000. Hello? When you add these values, 3,60,000 plus 9,60,000, how much you'll get? 9,96,000 rupees. Okay. Now find out the difference between these two values. That is 12 lakh and 6,000 minus 9,96,000. How much you'll get? How much you'll get? How much you'll get, ma? Hello? If I subtract the amount, how much you are getting it? Tell me. Hello? Students, tell me if I subtract this amount, how much I'll get? 2,10,000. Where you'll show that amount? 2,10,000. Debit side or credit side? Okay, 2,10,000. I'll show it, and I'll make this side also 12,06,000. But tell me what name I'll give for this 2,10,000. What is the account that I'll map for this 2,10,000? I've got it on the credit side. So what does this 2,10,000 denotes to? Any idea? No, here there is no concept of creditas and all ma. When I talk on missionary, missionary will have either purchase or sale. It will have profit on sale. It will have loss on sale. And as I said earlier, all fixed assets are prone to depreciation. So the balancing figure, that is 2,10,000, what we get, that we will name it as by depreciation account. What is the journal entry for charging depreciation? Tell me. For charging depreciation, what is the journal entry? Mm, Depreciation on machinery. What is the journal entry for that? Depreciation account debited to machinery. Do you remember this or not? Do you remember this journal entry? So in the machinery account, I am preparing now machinery account. So depreciation will come on which side? It will appear on the credit side. So if I'm getting that balance in the credit side, that is nothing but depreciation. So it is the depreciation for the entire machinery for the whole year. So this is what your machinery account, that is the fixed asset account, will try to communicate. So let me now draft and show you the fixed asset account, how it will be as. Okay, let it be anything. Okay, let it be anything. Fixed asset account, let it be anything. Opening balance will be on the debit side. Opening balance will be on the debit side. So closing balance of that will be on the credit side. Able to understand? The closing will be on the credit side. Okay, now we will have sale of machinery. When I do sale, what is the journal? Cash or bank debited to the respective fixed asset. So that means I will be mentioning by bank account, which is nothing but sales. By bank sales. Now, when I do the sale, I may get profit or loss. If it is a profit, it will be on the debit side to profit and loss account. to profit and loss account debit side. If suppose I am getting a loss, then it will be as by profit and loss account. Can you able to get the concept? Hello, students? By P&L account over here. Now, after mentioning this, I will tally my fixed asset account. I have to tally the fixed asset account. When I'm doing that particular work, if suppose I'm getting a balancing figure on this side, then it will be mentioned as two bank account, that is nothing but it is purchases. It is purchases. The balancing figure. Okay. It is the balancing figure. Whereas the same balancing figure, instead of coming this side, if it comes on this side, okay, that is if it comes on the credit side, I'll repeat it. If suppose the balancing figure is coming on the credit side, okay, then it is denoting that it is the amount of depreciation. So it is depreciation. Okay, it is the amount of depreciation. So that is the balancing figure, but we are not supposed to use carryover balance. It is depreciation. This is how your fixed asset account will be. Opening balance over here, closing balance over here, and sale will be on this side. If you're getting a carryover balance on this side, it is profit. Sorry, if you are getting a profit on sale, then it will be over here. If you are getting loss on sale, it will be over here. At the same time, if the balancing figure comes on debit, it is purchases. Whereas if the balance comes on the credit, it is depreciation. To make it very simpler for your easy understanding purpose, I'll give you a small clue. Okay, I'll give you a small clue, or you can make this as a small tip also. Okay, you can make this as a small tip also. What is that? If you ask, that is very simple, that if you have a balance appearing on the debit side, it could either be purchase or profit, PP. Okay, PP debit. PP is debit. Okay, what is PP? Purchase also P, profit is also P. So PP debit. Then what is credit if you ask? SL. Okay, SL is credit. What is SL? S is nothing but sales. L is nothing but loss. So by preparing for fixed asset account, we will get something as a balancing figure, and if you are getting a balancing figure on the debit, see to it the problem has a profit means, then that the debit balance will go for purchases. If the problem has got purchases, then it will be profit either way on the debit side. Similarly, on the credit side also, it is to be noted that you will get either sales or you will get loss on the credit as a balance. Can you able to understand this concept? The fixed asset preparation account concept. Students, yes. The next one is preparation of the investment account. It is also same like this, but the only thing is you will not have depreciation. I repeat it. Okay, I'm just copying the same format. Okay, I'm just copying the same format for the investment. Okay, just let me make it up here. So in investment, as far as it's concerned, okay. So when I say investment account, okay, this investment account will be as similar to that of a fixed asset, but it will not have depreciation. Except depreciation, other things will be there. Opening balance of the investment will be there, then closing balance of the investment will be there. Similarly, if you have done a sale of the investment, then sales will come over here, and based on the sale proceeds, profit means it will come on the debit, loss means it will come on the credit. And this depreciation is not there for investment. So after recording all this, you will get the balance. That balance will be on the debit side. That denotes that you have done some additional purchase of investment. Able to understand? If the balance comes on debit side, it denotes like to bank, okay, account which is a purchases. Okay, I'm just cancelling out this. We have already mentioned that, but I'm mentioning it here. So this is your investment account. Able to understand? Hello? Can you able to follow? Investment account is as same to your fixed asset account, but there you won't get depreciation in the investment. You will get only the purchases of investment if you have done any in addition. So on the credit side, you won't get any balance. Suppose if I get what it means, sir. Suppose if I get means what it is, then you have to see in the question what are all the items you are given. They are given opening, okay, that is debit. On the credit side, appearing items are balancing carryover balance, that is closing balance கொடுத்திருக்காங்கன்னு பாருங்க. Yes, given. Suppose they have also given you the loss on sale of investment, then loss value is given. After giving these two, if you are getting some balancing figure, then obviously the question they have not given you the sale value, so that balancing figure can only be your sale proceeds. That balancing figure can be only your sale proceeds. Okay, some questions they can give like that. They might not give you the sale value, but instead they may give you the opening value, closing value, and they'll give you profit on sale or loss on sale. Okay, and even any further purchases that you have done, investments, but they won't give you the sale value. So in that case, the sale value will be appearing on the credit side only, balancing figure, that will be by bank sales. This is the problem, or this is how we'll prepare our investment account. Any doubt in this one? Any doubt in this one? You may ask then how they will be asking questions with respect to investment. Okay, just a minute. I'm just preparing, giving you a balance sheet. Hold on for a minute. Just like this, we'll take one value. It is given over here that, okay, instead, sorry, instead of machinery, it is going to be as investment. And information given in such a way that investment costing, okay, during the year, investment costing rupees 24,000 was sold for rupees 25,500. Okay, it was given as like this. Okay, so what you do, take this format. Okay, just for our reference, I'm just taking up this format.